Guys, what is hip hop and happening? Welcome back to another episode. We're already at it again. And actually, you know what? Let me start over here. So I managed to, you can kind of see right over here, we terraformed. Got the road actually working, much to my surprise. So thank you very much, guys, who all gave me a push in the right direction there. And since we're hanging out here, I don't know if I should ruin the surprise or not. I got one of the tram lines going, so. It's not, not a very big one, but hopefully a tram might make an appearance eventually. Oh, here we are. Excellent timing. And I'm going to actually change the line colors, but I just kind of left this just like this so I could show you guys the way I had this set up. So I've got two lines running over here. That's so cool. Oh, I can't get over how awesome this is. And look at the passengers. They wait there. That's perfect. So our little test is complete. This should kind of run its way through here. I don't remember if it's going to go left or right. Depends on what line it is. All right, it's going left. Okay, so let's sneak a peek here. What's actually happening? So in terms of our routing, you can kind of see what I've done is I have two lines, which are the corresponding directions for one another. It's that purple and the red. I left them at the other colors there, so you can kind of see, and they both actually converge right here. It might be a little bit confusing in real life, but I think you would just kind of look and see, if it was like an A or a B line, that kind of thing. If it was like the line 30 or line 1, A or B. I don't know, something like that, right? I think you know what I mean. Anyway, instead of having it, though, both kind of, sneak around one direction, they both go through here and go opposite ways. It just looks kind of cool, I think. And I actually have had a change of heart, and I want to make our fleet color red. Because in Toronto, the streetcars, they're actually red, and I need to see that color. I love it. So they all have to be red. Hope you guys don't mind that. I'm totally up for doing maybe some express routes as like a different color, just for fun. And those can be, I was kind of thinking maybe like a turquoise color. I don't know if that's kind of clashing with our red. You guys let me know. We can always keep this purpley blue color, but for the moment, let's just do this. Even though these are obviously going to be changing, I don't mind. I just still, unified fleet color is pretty cool. Okay. Awesome. So I just wanted to get at least like one in here. Hey, cool. Look at that. Red. Just like home. So this one might go the other direction. Nope, not yet. Still heading that way. And I only put one line in just because there's not a whole heck of a lot of people over here just yet. But let me show you what I made over here. I left this part open, and I'm going to put rocks and stuff down here to make it seem like it was maybe a little bit of a dried up kind of riverbed or something. And I removed most of the rocks, so put those back in, like I said just now. Why don't we get started with that? Let me actually go right here. Oh boy, jumping all over the place. All these mods are starting to really, they're adding up. So I will be making a mod list and an asset list. I know I've said I will be doing that, but I was just going to wait till the weekend. I've already had a few message, but sorry guys, I haven't just done it yet. Hope you don't mind though. And then what I was going to say is, like, holy smokes, if your computer, like, if you don't have a good computer, like, don't bother downloading all of them, because like at this point now, even this city, we're at only 18,000 some odd people. It takes me like 5 minutes plus now to load the city. So I mean, it's gonna get big, and it's gonna get a little bit worse when the city grows. Because actually, the more I play this city, the more I really want to see it like a giant metropolis now. So there's at least another month or two of winter per se. So I kind of see us playing this for at least the next, few weeks. So hope you guys are in this for the long haul too. And just in terms of a, schedule for this weekend and what I'm planning on doing. So I'll record, like I said, an episode or two of Lakewood, and I'll get one of those for sure out, and then I'll save, one for midweek or something. And then I'll just try my darndest to keep these going at a pretty good pace. And I'll also be recording some Train Fever, just in kind of bulk. So have some of those to release throughout the week as well. I know you guys enjoy the variety, and some of you are here, for for different stuff, but it's kind of nice that you're mingling over, so appreciate that. And then yeah, just kind of going forward, I do also want to add a couple more games just to the general roster of things that we're playing. And I've already had a few suggestions come in, so I really appreciate that. And you know, nothing's official yet, but definitely got something coming up on the short-term horizon. So stay tuned. Look forward to surprising you guys with that when it comes out. Okay. So I like rocks, I guess is the good thing to kind of, or the best way to kind of put this, right? So I think that's a fair amount we got right here. Trying to make a nice little rocky shoreline for us. Probably get maybe one more large one right here. Maybe I'm getting a little bit carried away as we're talking, but they just look so cool. All right, so I need grass and a few other things here. Yeah, there we go. Just, you know, a few little snippets of it poking through. And I might not get lucky there because of the bridges. They kind of null everything underneath them, you know? Okay, so just a little bit here and there. Again, not a lot of greenery in the winter. But not necessarily everything dies, right? Okay, I'll use these for sure. Because they're awesome. I'm definitely a tree enthusiast. For those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you are very much so aware of this. For those of you that are brand new, I love trees. Okay. No, that's not quite fitting over there. Okay, now let's go to some of these tall pines. These are also a splendid choice. Oh, in case you guys are curious, I did replace the path underneath the rail bridge as well. Okay, maybe one more over here. There we go. Cool. And you know, just a few just random trees here. So the reason why it sounds so hectic when I click, if you click and drag a little bit, you can make a kind of like a pencil brush technique, just with the mod I have. And that's great if you're making like hedges and stuff. So sometimes if you click a little bit too fast, it kind of reads it as you're, you know, trying to do that. So that'll be why that's happening. And where would we be without our trusty pines? There we go. All right, that's pretty cool. I know it's a little bit dark and you can't quite see it all, but we'll sneak a peek back over this one. The lights are up when the sun is out. All right, let's just move that one pine. Excellent. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's a vehicle going the opposite direction. So these guys would then go down here, make their way in, you know, stop off over there. Oh, that's so cool. I really, really, really like this. Like, I can't get over, like, you know, it seems so simple, but so fun at the same time. I don't know why these little things, they just make me so happy. So I imagine what we could do is put in some concrete pathing, get people walking through a little bit more efficiently. We can probably do a little bit of a flower bed or something. Kind of tricky with the winter, but we'll find something to do just to make this area look a little bit more friendly. I'm excited for that. Okay, so let's work on an interchange. So over here, I had a suggestion for a triangle interchange, which would make the most sense, I think, over here, right? And then my thoughts for that were to just, to very simply do a little offshoot over here. And, you know what we could do? Just so that things are even, is go like this. Perfect, then go like that. Oops, switch this back over. There we go. And that's not what I want. That's what I want. Perfect. And then now this, we can start to raise up. And we can curve it slightly. But the goal is, what level is this at? That's at 12, eh? Okay, so the goal, yeah, is just to go up and just gently curve in and join these guys over here. Cool. That actually works very well. And then what we can do is have the reverse angle go through here, maybe act as a tunnel just to go underneath this part, and then we can have it connect right here and just have it flow. Okay, so that might be a little bit trickier, but I will cross my fingers here. Alright. Going in. I don't want it to be too steep, because then it'll look kind of like a roller coaster, which is not what we want at all. That's essentially it, but I want that slope to be a little bit nicer, like the curve kind of inward. Okay, now I wonder. Let's just pause this for 1 second here. Let's try something just slightly different. Not that that wasn't the right attempt, just I think you'll kind of see what I'm gonna do here. So we'll just work our way a little bit backwards. Just kind of give that a try. Now that's a little bit too steep. I totally realize that, so we'll give that one more attempt. And I was originally going to go for some symmetry, but I think, you know what, we can take our, we'll take our time with this, make a wider approach. Ooh. If it'll cooperate. I had it too, that's why I made that oop noise. Alright. There we go. I think that's more or less what we're after. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, now get that direction working. Okay. Yeah, that's not too tight, not too steep. That should work, you know? Okay, now to reconnect this. We could do something like that. I personally am not the biggest fan of it, though. I think instead what we could do is something like, what we did over here. And let's do that with a little bit more room. Or actually, let's just do this. There. And then now we can connect these guys. There we go. I think that's what we're after. Right, just like magic. Perfect. That is kind of cool. And I really wish those lined up. They're like millimeters apart. Darn it. Okay. Just out of curiosity. Too far. And it makes that crooked, so... This might be one of those things where I should just leave it, Quit while I'm ahead type of thing. Yeah, because it lines it up now. It doesn't even line it up now. Alright, stop touching things. This is why we can't have nice stuff. There, just leave it. Okay. Well, still mission accomplished. So now you can come in this way, continue through, exit over here, and this will probably have a bridge which will connect over to the industrial area. And as time goes on, this could possibly turn into a different style of interchange, and we might actually upgrade this highway. But I don't know. We're getting way ahead of ourselves here. So we have to build our industrial area first. Holy smokes! Okay, so we should probably do some more people zoning before time gets too far away from us. But I also wanted to do this rail interchange and another interchange over here. My goodness, there's so much to do. Okay, well, just to keep the pace of the city kind of growing, because we actually have to hit another milestone, we should be doing some more building. And since we have lots of real estate up here, let's go ahead and do that. Now, let's shift gears and use a bus lane over here. Like I said, we can't have trams everywhere. Oh, are we curbing this again? I don't see why not. We've got room for a little bit more growth. Alright, so these can just go outwards. May have to get a little bit creative in this little spot, but at least for the time being we can get some of these going. Now it looks like we've lost the one-way battle happening over here. I'm just going to keep these going, just for the sake of, you know, a nice even flow of traffic. Subject to change, of course, but... Okay, now who is that lining up with? Not everyone else. So even though it's not a perfect 90-degree angle, that's totally fine, because one of these roads is slightly crooked, but again, that's totally fine. We want to be straight with this one here. That gives us that overall impression of symmetry. And of course, there are those silly city limits. Okay. Oh, that does not need to be a one-way road. Aha. Okay, so our bus lane. Ooh, almost forgot one more here. And that's straight. I guess so. Alright, now this go to say here, which then goes to say here, and should curve one more time. You know, I'd like a little bit more spacing. I feel like we're kind of losing it a bit here. Are we getting too tight over here? Yeah, it looks like it. I think we kind of lost it somewhere. Alright. So that's the one that was a little bit crooked. That's probably what's throwing everything off a little bit here. So we have to go just like that. And that kind of retrieves the look a bit. Okay, now I'm going to leave this part open because it's probably going to change a little bit. And in terms of symmetry, I still haven't quite made up my mind, you know? But we do need more people living here, that is for sure. Okay, so put that back to 1 speed. Drop some of these people in. And then to justify having a bus network through here, we should have like a little pocket of high density. Not like the biggest thing in the world, but you know. And just temporarily, which I may forget to do later, we'll change this to this type of road just so we can get some more cars going through. Okay, so yeah, just a little high density pocket right here. And we have a call for industry, which we can kind of get out of the way with some offices, but ideally I'd like to build upon this. But I think that's kind of a a long-term plan once we switch over to the other side of the river here. Okay, so just a little bit of offices just right here, just to kind of get some people maybe coming in to this area. And you know, it's very tempting to put some commercial in here, so let's do that. Okay, so let's get some pipes. I forgot to put in some extra sewage in the last episode, so let's do that really quickly. And again, this is just, you know, most of the stuff I do in the beginning, it's rather temporary, simply because I'm looking just to get some short-term money just to get this kind of infrastructure set up, because then we can, you know, create a lot of money. We have almost $500,000 now, which is, you know, which is great, because remember how, like, stressful things were, you know, a few episodes ago. So it's funny the perspective, right? Anyway, I want to get like a nice little starter city like this kind of going as quickly as possible. And then once we start bringing in the big bucks, then we can start doing some infrastructure projects, like some of the bigger ones. You know, we start doing like heavy rails, some more highways. We have the money for it. And then the city itself can just start really taking shape. And then you don't have to worry too much later on about, you know, oh, where am I going to put a highway? Oh, how am I going to fit the rails through here? You know, all these questions are very easy to answer simply because you kind of, you know, left yourself the space or set stuff up just ahead of time. That looks really cool. Remember we said we'd check on that. And I'm digging the red fleet. Definitely am. And perfect. Our first offices are coming in over here. So that should help a little bit. But our goal is just to get the population up so we can unlock the next, you know, milestone here. So why don't we expand on this, since we still have some demand. And we should do a nice big roundabout, or just something in here. And just make this a kind of like a fun office park. And then we could probably just do, maybe get some tourist stuff in here too. Because I haven't actually been looking too much at the, some of the landmarks or, you know, unique buildings. So a lot of these I've downloaded, so you may not necessarily see all the new ones right away. Oh, a spa hotel. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, this could be a downtown attraction. Oh. Or this could be something that could be in the foothills and we have like a chalet or something. And there's a snowboard arena. That was also something that looked really, really cool. I saw that in some of the forums. And again, we could have like a little, you know, sports area at one of our colleges or something. Oh yeah, the Eiffel Tower. So much of this stuff. Okay, don't get distracted. Look for the snowy stuff. And, oh my goodness, so much cool stuff here. Oh, okay. Oh, I love it. Okay, I keep forgetting about most of these. And so, yeah, I'll be placing some of these in the next episode. And these are the kind of things that, you know, I'll be naming after some of you guys. So I'm very excited for that. Okay. Lots of options. Oh, a movie theater. Oh my goodness, so cool. How does that look? Cool. Alright, so we'll need a parking for that. I know that was just a little bit random, but movie theaters are pretty neat. Okay. Let's build this roundabout rather quickly, and then we'll put some parking lots. And just kind of see how this area unfolds. I might be making this a bit too big. Yeah, let's back that up a little bit. And hopefully that arrow will disappear. There we go. That's a little bit random. Even this feels like a big roundabout. So I guess we can put a park in the center, which we can totally do that. What am I saying? Okay, so that's easy to do. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll do it this very second. Still got to figure out how that's going to go through. So we'll just connect the top and the side arms. And that would be really cool if we could just go from... Oh, no way. Can we? Get out of here. No way, that is too cool. You totally can. Awesome. Won't be the cleanest connection, but I will still totally take that. Okay, so again, we'll figure out the bottom part right here. Okay. We must be creative. I just wish that would snap a little bit nicely, you know? A little bit more nicely, I should say. That's not the worst. Makes the area a little bit unique, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Again, it's not the worst. I'll keep it. So it's subject to change, but I'd still like to get something in and through here. A little bit of a downtown office district right here. And though I don't normally do it, we'll zone in the outskirts of this roundabout. And it could be, you know, it could change. These seem like they're a little bit close to the highway, but they should not mind the sound. Okay. Let's help to meet some of the demand, which is good. And it looks like most of the people are starting to move in, which is also good. Probably could use a little bit of shopping up here. So let's go just like that. And I still, you know, I have to get the next tile, I think, before I can kind of figure out how the next little high density neighborhood here is going to kind of work in. Because it's not going to be the biggest in terms of high density. Because I kind of want to keep that, you know, closer to the coast. And we have a few abandoned buildings. I had a suggestion to download that mod that automatically deletes the abandoned buildings. Definitely look into that. And, you know, we'll get the rest later. Okay, now let's stare at services, more specifically school and that kind of stuff. Since we got more citizens, you know, here and there. And so these just act as regular schools. They're just in the shape of a church, so, you know, kind of fits a bit better with residential neighborhoods. So we can put one of those in up here. Can probably use an actual school as well, just in this part. Yeah, right there is fine. Fun and dandy. Alright, a high school. Community high school. This is a cool one I downloaded. I actually don't think we've used this yet in Lakewood, so... Okay, that we could use over here. Oh, we need a big spot for it too. That's great. Cool. Alright. And we could use one more high school. Just gonna keep an eye on the cost though, because we're starting to, you know, absorb a lot here. This just happens to be a really neat high school as well, so we'll use that. Kind of futuristically looking, you know? I like that. Okay. And I don't think we'll move on to universities just yet. I think that's getting a little bit too preemptive. So I'm fine with this in terms of coverage for the moment. You can see most people are starting to get pretty educated. We're just barely making the cutoff, though, in terms of our citizens. I actually didn't notice that. So the numbers tell me we should put another one in, but in terms of cost, oh my goodness, we're starting to get up there. Okay, so we can use this one here. It's actually another custom one I've downloaded. It's a European style. And in terms of spacing, I guess we should probably be around this block here. So let's just go just like that. There we go. Works in well with some of these taller office buildings. Okay, so I can hear a whole bunch of citizens, you know, being happy about that. They're all leveling up, so it's probably money well spent, actually. Because now we're actually making more than we were before we put the buildings in. Okay, so I see a fire. So we probably might need a bit more cover, especially down here. We can use these again. These are really cool. Be nice if that fit. Yeah, right there would be cool. And I was saying I wanted to put a parking lot back here just for the movie theater. So that's something we can totally do. Okay. How big is this small parking garage? Oh, this is not too bad. Okay, so that works for me right there. Yeah, that's totally cool. And I love that the snow just, holy smokes, just works on everything. Okay, so right next door to our movie theater, we got our parking. Perfect. We should have one parking lot that's kind of, yes, just like this. I don't think that's going to fit. Yep, there we go. That works for me. Okay. Nice little area coming together. So yeah, so the plan would be to do kind of a parking here, just, you know, walking past, that kind of stuff. Possibly a little bus or something to come through here. So we've been, like I said, we've been neglecting the buses. And they are definitely very helpful. And look at that, people are using this. Holy smokes. That is incredible. Oh, I'm really happy to see that. Oh my goodness. Now, the only downside is that we are missing, you gotta go kind of far over here to get off, right? So we'll see, you know, we'll see what happens when we buy maybe this bottom part. 'Cause we can turn this into, you know, like a full-blown interchange and just have, you know, a little lakeshore connection to here, and then have just a really quick on and off ramp. Oh my goodness, I am totally digging this. The city is really coming together. And I'm going to add some more tram lines too, so nothing but good stuff. Okay, so just one more quick peek at everything over here before I get too carried away. Oh, right, I totally forgot I downloaded these. Cemetery blocks. So, my thoughts were that the game, the default one, the cemetery you get, it's pretty small. So what we could do is make our own kind of custom graveyard. I was thinking of doing that a little bit later on down the road, right? So we put one of these, you know, just anywhere, but then kind of extend the boundaries. Or what we could do is, I have a few custom churches, put one of those down and then put the graves around it. That'll be kind of fun. That's a project. It's for another day. Okay, now I would like a hospital downtown for what I hope are completely obvious reasons. And we could sneak one over here. I do really, really like the look of this building because it is very large and in charge. Oh, that would be perfect if it fit. Darn it, we're off by like one right there. Oh, but hold the phone. It fits right here. Okay. I don't think we're too far away from the major avenues, even though this is nestled a little bit in here. Alright, how's the coverage look for that? No, that's totally fine. Okay, so we do need a little something over here. Crematorium will work, I believe. Okay. Definitely okay. And probably a police station. And we should probably put in a, yeah, like a little toll booth in and around somewhere. Those are always fun to make. We can do that actually on the other side of this, so it's like you're coming in, you have to pay, you know. Alright, so a downtown style police department, because it's in an office tower. Put that right there. And I'd like that to be spun around. There we go. Cool. Coming together. So we got our police, we got our fire. We just need garbage pickup for down here. And that can be in the form of a recycling facility. Because there were some icons, yeah, you can kind of see showing down here. You know what? I think we're okay for the moment. I think I'd rather just switch to an incinerator. Maybe put one more of those up here. And then I think that'll kind of do it. Can we sneak that? Yes, we can. And coincidentally, there goes all of our money. But I think that was money very, very well spent. That was a big round of services we just purchased. And they were like, you know, the big ones. Okay, so power should be our next kind of purchase goal. And I think we're at that magic point where even if we do kind of get more heating in, I don't think that'll be enough to pull the, you know, pull the demand in our favor. Okay, so water is good. Garbage we know. Health is okay. Fire safety is manageable. Could get it better over here. Police is great. School, a very good work in progress. And trams, fantastic. We already knew that though. Well, I think that's basically it. Alright, well guys, I think we'll end the episode here. A very productive one. I'm happy that we've got a little bit of a working interchange here. Even though it's going to no one. And yeah, we can explore. We can think about how we want to maybe get this going. So this could be very easily upgraded. You know, make this into a small little clover leaf or something. So we do got the options for the future. And it's interesting that there's snow kind of stuck, it looks like, in between our platforms. So hopefully that won't make our trains go slow. I don't know what we can do about that, but oh well, c'est la vie. It's snowing. What can we expect? Alright, so the city, it's getting bigger. Like I said, I'm really happy with the way this is kind of shaping out. Starting to see a little bit more growth, so we'll keep that kind of, I guess, spiral effect going just to at least this end arm here. And then I think we should maybe start doing something a little bit different. Or, heck, you know, we could even keep it going up and over the highway. You guys let me know. Because I think now that I see it, this will be kind of cool if we still, you know, make that into spirals almost the whole way up. And then this side can stay a little bit more grid-like. And then we can almost do a corresponding spiral or something on this side of the river. And this side can be like, you know, industry and manufacturing, and then living up here. And this can just slowly push out to be suburbs, and this can stay, you know, high density. And then over here we can have a whole other, you know, high density core. We can make this like, you know, feel like a very tall space, and then who knows? The sky's the limit. I'm really liking this city. Like I said, we got a few, like at least a few more weeks to play with this, if not months, you know? So yeah, expect this for the long haul. And then it might be kind of fun just to visit this maybe in the summertime. Like, I won't delete the save or anything, so we can come back and check on things. And I'm a big fan of this rush hour mod. I think traffic, it's just, you know, it looks a lot calmer in the city. And I think people are really using the public transport. So there we go. I think we're doing great stuff here. Alright guys, well I'm really excited for the next episode, because like I said, we'll, you know, be putting some parks and stuff in. We'll be naming them after you guys. In the city, I did kind of want to get it a little bit bigger, but I think we're just big enough to get some fun stuff in here. So yeah, I'll drop in some landmarks, you know, name them after you fine folks. And yeah, if you don't see your names, you know, totally no problem. We'll be doing that all throughout the series. Just won't be every episode. So yeah, stay tuned, keep on commenting. Alright guys, have yourselves a great weekend, and I will talk to you very soon. So I'll see you in the next one. Alright, take care.